Hi, Bob Cave. This is my wife Jane. Married for 56 years.
56 years.
Hi, I'm Bob Cave. My wife Jane was with me last night, couldn't make it, so she says hi also. I living in West Hartford, have been for 15 years, moved back from Washington DC, where we spent 20 years before that. We've got 3 children, and the good news is we have 5 grandchildren, and the grandchildren have girlfriends, so we're hoping for some additional family joining us at some point. I've enjoyed working initially in Hartford, Connecticut Natural Gas, and then in Washington DC for 20 years with a trade association. But it's really fun to be back in West Hartford, and we enjoy our time here.
Hi, I'm Lee Sherwin, obviously the class of 1959 from Hall. My wife and I, Jane, retired to Orleans, Cape Cod, 17 years ago. We enjoy it immensely. My business career was primarily in sales, marketing, client relations, primarily worked for a corporate relocation company based in Danbury, Connecticut. Enjoyed it, but it's good to know that the word work, a 4-letter word, is no longer part of my life. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Joanne DeMonte Stamen, proud graduate of Hall High School. I live now in Simsbury and in Fort Myers, Florida. I'm married to my husband Tom. We have 4 children, 8 grandchildren, pretty much in the Connecticut, New Jersey area. I started out as a school teacher at Cape Junior High School, which I loved, but I had 4 kids in 6 years and had to give that up. And then I went on to go into insurance, and I became a VP of an insurance agency. And my favorite memory is when we had senior talent night, and Mickey Doyle and I did Doing What Comes Naturally. Thanks, I miss you.
Hi, I'm Mickey Doyle Lawler. I still live in West Hartford. I grew up about 3 blocks from the old Hall High School, and now I live about 3 blocks from the new Hall High School. I married Dan Lawler, and we had 38 really lovely years together. He passed away about 15 years ago. We have 3 daughters, and now I have 3 grandsons. For the last 34 years, I have been a working artist. I have my own business called Sky Dyes, and I paint landscape fabrics for quilt makers and other fiber artists. I've taught this around the country for the last 34 years also in workshops, and I also lecture. But I also have written a couple of books on the process. I think the funniest thing when we were asked to find out, oh no, it wasn't funny. We were asked a momentous time in high school that we should, you know, what was something we really remembered. The first thing that came to my mind was getting an A on Mr. Lincoln's test on the digestive tract. Why that came to my mind, I have no idea, except I was very, very proud of it, and to this day, I still remember all the elements of the digestive tract, which has not come in handy except when I watch Jeopardy. The other really funny thing that I remember, and that I will never forget, is Wes Garrison, and I understand Wes has passed away from us, but Wes Garrison, in the spring of our senior year, I think it was, rode his horse. He had a Palomino named Lightning. He rode his horse to Hall, and he stopped at my house on the way, rang the doorbell, and said, "Come on out here, what do you think? I'm riding my horse to Hall." And I thought that was the best thing in the world. Anyway, I hope that you're all well. I hope that you are enjoying life, and I hope that I see several of you here tonight.
Hi, we're Chris and Marilyn Jengris. I'm Marilyn Reed from class of 59. And we now live on Cape Cod in Orleans, Massachusetts. And we'd love anybody that wants to come and see us, get in touch with us while they're there. And I guess my biggest and most wonderful memory from high school was meeting my soulmate and my husband. And we've been together for 56 years, have 2 wonderful sons, and one lives, they both live too far away, one in Ohio and one in Texas, but we do get to go and visit. And we have 2 wonderful granddaughters.
Yeah, I second that. Remarkable thing in high school for me was turning around in Mike Stefanian's English class and seeing Marilyn Reed, who I'd known since the 2nd grade, saying, "Oh my goodness." I just kind of knew. They asked her out to Norma Fricke's costume party for Halloween, and that's all she wrote.
That was our first date.
That was it. So that's about it.
Joyce, my wife Joyce, we live in Greensboro, North Carolina now, and have for about 45 years. After high school and college, I became a Navy officer, and interestingly enough, they assigned us into the Philippines. And who did I relieve over there? But Jay Winston Ivey was in our class also. I relieved Win Ivey, and then after that we went on to, I came back after I left the Navy. I worked for Mobil Oil and Xerox, and then we started our own business in Greensboro. For over 25 years we owned and operated a restaurant in Greensboro and Chapel Hill. Swenson's Ice Cream as a franchised ice cream business and a restaurant. And we had that business for over 25 years, and then I retired. And, glad to come back to class of 59.
My name is Dick Cameron, and graduate of Hall High School, class of 59. And I'm here with my lovely wife, Mary Ann. We've been married for 23 years, and we live on the eastern shore of Maryland, a little town called Graysonville, Ken Narrows. I have 4 grown children by a previous marriage. They're in their 40s and 50s now, and I also have 8 grandchildren. Mary Ann does not have any children. This is her first marriage. After I graduated from Hall, I went to Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute on a Navy scholarship, and then after RPI, I spent 6 years in the Navy, the Navy Nuclear Power Submarine Program, and spent most of that time driving nuclear submarines around the North Atlantic. After the Navy, I made a career in sales and marketing of construction management services for 2 international design engineering and construction management firms. I worked until I was 70, and then consulted for 3 more years after that, and now I'm fully retired as of 2015. As far as memories of major things at Hall, I have many. It's hard to pick out which one was the best, including King of the Prom, President of the Student Council. But I think the main one is being selected for the American Field Service Exchange Student Program. I spent 11 weeks this summer between my junior and senior years in France. And that was a tremendous experience for me. That's pretty much a synopsis of
Kids when I was a summer, permanent summer at Summerfield High for 9 years. They used to call me Ellie, and they used to do it L and signal when I was out on the basketball game, the cheerleaders. So I was there for 9 years. I drive part-time for her, winter lines, a couple hours a day. I also still coach Liberty in my 51st year. Over the last 2 years, they made me the score captain. But I enjoy being with the kids. And I had 5 children. One died at 33 years old. And I have 4 grandchildren throughout Michigan. Not children anymore. They're 18, 16. I also go to visit him out in Michigan once a year. I take my granddaughter, who lives in Windsor Lock, she's 18, and my granddaughter out there is 18. So they talk about boys and whatever. And then I also go to Florida, usually the 27th to the 3rd of January, 27th of December, 3rd of January. My son lives down there in President's Garden. He's a 52-year-old bachelor. And then I've got my oldest daughter lives in Michigan. And I have another daughter who lives in New York State with her husband, who's a principal at a high school, vice principal, right?
Oh, I know.
And she went back to teaching chorus and choir in middle school and high school. She has no children. She's 40. And then I have, like I say, a daughter that lives in town. So I go to Hawaii twice a year. She brings me to the airport, picks me up. 4 blocks from the airport. And Hawaii's like heaven. There's a song called Heaven is a Place on Earth. It's called Hawaii is a Place called Heaven. That's about the size of it.
Hello there. My name is Richard Mount. I'm Paul High graduate, class of 59. This is my wife, Jo Beth, who is the proud mother of 2 boys, both of whom are married and have children, grandparents. We live in West Hartford, haven't been able to get out of the state, as do our children. My wife's work has been involved with banking and finance. I've owned my own finance company and have really been lending money for 50 years to middle market companies all over the United States. My favorite high school moment, I think, was graduating. That was a big day. I was kind of glad it was over and on my way. So there. I'm sort of semi-retired at the moment, although I am starting another company that is in the field of finance and destined to assist companies that maybe have a difficulty with their present lending sources and had operating losses and things of that nature. Help them fix and stay in business and be productive.
Hi, I'm Lorna Oken Gershenowitz, Paul High, class of 59. I live in Bloomfield, Connecticut. I've lived there over 50 years. I recently retired, not quite a year ago, from the guidance office at a middle school in Bloomfield. I have 2 children and 5 grandchildren. I worked briefly as a social worker upon graduation from college. Then I took off 13 years raising my children, and then went to work in the middle school, thinking I would do that for a couple of years. I ended up there 34 years. So now I am beginning to get used to leisure time. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jerry Lipinski, class of 1959. Married, have 2 sons, live in St. Louis, Missouri for the last 50 years. Was in the shoe manufacturing business, had my own company for almost 40 years. And I got 4 grandkids. You're out in St. Louis, give me a call.
Hello, my name is Linda Peterson Johnson, and I have lived in Simsbury for the better part of 50 years. I have 1 child, Lisa, and she and her husband live in West Hartford along with my grandkids, Harry, who's 18, and Kate, who is 15. I am a reunion attendee. I think it's wonderful that this is done, and I have been fortunate enough in my life to be quite involved in volunteering in Simsbury. I'm presently on the library board, and I started about 9 years ago a dog park, and of which I'm very proud. Another one of the volunteer activities I've done is called Simsbury Celebrates. It's an annual event now held in Simsbury that draws about 1,800 people a year. It's held Saturday after Thanksgiving, and I'm very proud of that accomplishment. I believe that I'm blessed with really good health, and I have wonderful friends and very, very happy memories of being a West Hartford student and a student at East School first, Plant School, and a graduate Hall class of 1959. Thank you.
Bill, married, friend of ours. We've been married 35 years. I have one son, Robert Jr. He has one son, and that's Ryan. They live in Los Angeles. I worked for the Hanson Whitney Company for 42 years. I was executive vice president for sales, did a lot of traveling. Mary has two boys. One is Bobby, who lives in New York, and Tom, and his wife, Sandy, and they live in Vermont. Bobby out of New York, he has two boys. That's Luke Jackson, both in California. Life is good. My first wife, who was our classmate, was Pat Palermo. And Pat, unfortunately, had passed away in 1981 with a problem with the blood clot of the heart. So, life is what we all make of it. We're here, we missed out on a good time. Best to everybody. See you another time.
Robert Radin, R-A-D-I-N. Present living location of West Hartford. Don't have any children. And here's a brief synopsis of my life's work. So after Hall High, I attended Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, and then after that, George Washington University. So after earning a PhD in physics, I had a postdoc fellowship at National Cancer Institute. Then I became a professor of physics and math at community colleges, University of Maryland, and Boston University, University of Hartford, where I won an outstanding teacher's award. And the thing I loved about it was to help students who had trouble learning physics and math and help them succeed in doing it. Then I recently authored a science fiction novel entitled Ecospasm, which is available on Amazon. And right now I'm trying to write a screenplay for that book, for that novel. Favorite high school moments. So without being a terrible student, my idea of homework was to put on the Boston Red Sox and make balsa wood airplanes. But in spite of that, I won the French prize at Prix d'Honneur my junior year, so I felt good about that. And then I won a drag race with my father's 53 Cadillac against Bob Ratner's 51 Ford. So Bob Ratney wrote in my high school yearbook, "That Cadillac's a pig," but actually my Cadillac beat the hell out of this. Then I was on the track team and I ran the mile. And the last race was kind of exciting my senior year because there was a kid ahead of me, way ahead of me, and they turned it on and it was a photo finish victory at the very end. So that was cool. But most important, what I want to say is that Hall High School was my happiest time in all the 12 grades of public school. And I loved it. Thank you.
My name's Herb Rosenberg, and my wife Shirley and I have been married for 54 years. Shirley had worked for and retired from Boehringer Ingelheim, which is a pharmaceutical firm in Richfield, Connecticut. We have two children. Eileen is a product manager, and she lives in Massachusetts. And Stephen is an attorney, and he practices in Haven and lives in Camden, Connecticut. I have 4 grandchildren, ranging in age from almost 9 to almost 14. I'm a graduate of the University of Connecticut and the University of Connecticut School of Law, where I graduated with honors, and I was managing editor of the Connecticut Law Review. I'm licensed to practice in all courts of the states of Connecticut and Florida. I was in private practice in Norwalk and in Ridgefield from 1970 to 2011 when I retired, and we've been living in Manchester since 2014. The cheat sheet says to tell you what memories I have of Hall High, and to be frank, I don't remember being 17, so I can't answer.
Hi, everybody. My name is Nuna Schreiner Barnes, and I married my husband Keith, who was a naval officer, and we live in Wayne, New Jersey. And we have twin daughters and 4 grandchildren. Spent some of my life as a Navy wife in Japan, and then we moved to Rochester, New York, where the kids were born. Moved to New Jersey in 1972 and have been there ever since. Had a career in finance, but I still love playing piano, and I do music direction for community theaters and church groups and classical music. Wish you were here. Thanks.
Dottie Selden Stone, and I live in West Hartford now, and we have 2 kids. They live on the West Coast, and 3 grandchildren. Some of my good memories of high school are the friends, most definitely, and the teachers, especially the tough ones. Dr. Dunn was especially wonderful to me, and the annex was a great place. He was the principal in the annex for 10th grade. And I love being on the yearbook staff, and of course I have lots of memories of being in love with my first love, and going steady, and I just loved high school.
Hi, my name is Bev Tumajan Christie. Live in Northwest New Jersey, Byram, near Sparta and Morristown. And, whoops. Okay, so, right after I went to Harvard Hospital School of Nursing, and right after that I did move to New Jersey. And I worked as a nurse in Denville, New Jersey, St. Clair's, famed for Cameron and Quinlan. Worked there 40 years, retired in 04. We were married in
30 years ago.
31 years ago. Both between us, we have about 6 daughters and 15 grandchildren, and there's never a dull moment. Our oldest is 27, youngest 10, and my middle daughter adopted 2 beautiful girls from China. It's wonderful. So I hope to be here in another 3 or 5. So thank you.
Great, you have a great class.
Yeah.
As an outsider.
My name is Stuart Weinbaum. I was in class of 59, and it has been a distinct pleasure to be here tonight and visit with some old friends. I've been a practicing optometrist for 50 years with 5 offices in the state. I have 3 sons, the youngest of which is now opted to go to Harvard MBA school. My wife and I travel the world most of the time. I do a lot of golf, fish, and I hope to be here for the next one.
Hi, this is Joanne Wins, French. I now live in Twinsburg, Ohio, and I hope you all get this and that you enjoy it as much as we enjoyed making it. Thank you. Bye-bye.
I'm Alto Woodward Aldrich, and I don't have a guest with me, so just me. And I live in Torrington, Connecticut, and I have 3 children. And I spent the early part of my work life in customer service, and I spent the last half of my work life working for newspapers in the advertising department, and enjoyed it very much. Worked till I was 73. I couldn't bear to quit. So, and I think one of my favorite high school moments, just getting to know everybody and being so close with everybody. We had a group of gals that we were very close with. We lived in the same neighborhood, and and we've kept in touch, and it's just really been a wonderful, wonderful thing. But I always like when we come back to reunions, because this is a wonderful class. Everybody is so warm and friendly and glad to see each other, and it's a wonderful thing. Thank you.
The ones in Plan happened to be here. Chris, you and Joanne were the cutest couples that back then.
Your memory shot, you were a couple.
We had some folks who came some pretty long distances, and that's a real credit. I think a bunch of you came from the West Coast. How many came from out west? Yeah, somebody used to live in Japan too.
Came the first.
She and I were looking at the hall book, and there's a whole page. And I'm not sure how you got that page in there, but good to see you. Richard mentioned about taking some pictures, and I think if you wouldn't mind, just stop, because I know he's pulling together all of that. And we also have a picture in the back. It's of Paul High. It's done by a very well-known writer, and it's a numbered print. We gave an opportunity for people to bid on it, but it was suggested to me, since the money is going to a good cause, that maybe what we could do is everybody name badge at the end of the meeting, if you'd like to do it, we'll draw it out and you can take the back with you.
Good idea.
The other thing you ought to know is that the money is going to go to the West Hartford School Teachers, West Hartford Public Schools Foundation. And the folks in there said that they get requests from the teachers to do certain things. And so we asked, gee whiz, if some of the hall teachers ask, would you say that the money is coming from the class of '59? So for this year, the money that we're going to get for this picture, and also some of the leftover money that we have from this reunion, is going to go to that foundation for the West Hartford teachers. West Hartford Public School Foundation. If anybody would like to contribute any more, either with a check or money, Dottie can get collect that for us. Part of what we thought we would do with that money is, of course, Bob and Gladys Dunn, they both passed on since our last reunion. And so we're kind of doing that also in remembrance of them. So you are able to, excuse me, I'll go back, the meeting is being given in the name of Bob and Gladys Dunn, who was passed on since we were here. So as a class, the committee thought this would be a great opportunity to do something for them, remembrance of them. The last thing that I have is the fact that somebody came up and said, gee, are we going to do another reunion? So the question to this group is, would you like to do another reunion? Anybody be interested in that?
Come on, Gail, go to it.
We're fortunate that Gail is still energetic, and when I asked her, she said, oh, yeah, as long as the committee would help. And she's also blessed to have a good committee, so I think the committee will support her. Somebody said, why should we wait 5 years? Let's do it in 3 years. So does anybody have any objection if we try and get together in 3 years? Would that be something to try? It might be breakfast or lunch.
What's your point?
So with that, and then the dangerous question, does anybody else have anything they'd like to offer or say? Hearing nothing, thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming, and Gail is standing up. Would you like to say something?
I just want to remind people that Joanne has brought a booklet that she'd like everyone to sign, a message to Gil Cass. Please do that. Unfortunately, Gil is not able to be here. Many of you know, and some of you don't know, he has Parkinson's, and that has not allowed him to travel to do something. He wanted to come very badly, but he wasn't able to. So let's remember him by at least sending him a note, and Joanne will mail it on to him. Any other messages? Pardon? He lives in New York City. If anybody wants his address or email, we can give that to you. Please take a notice of our cake. Bob Prindeville, who is instrumental in promoting this whole facility for this brunch, has done all the work to gather it together, and He's done a fantastic job, but he also...
He baked the cake?
I didn't think you were that light.
No, he didn't bake the cake, and I hate to say that, but please check out the beautiful picture on it. The company that did bake it did a phenomenal job. We've already had a taste of a small cake made by the same people, and it's yummy. So please enjoy the rest of our time here and have fun, because we miss you when we don't see you, and we'll be happy to see you again. Thanks.